No, you're not going to talk? All right, that's
I'm
fine.
talking. Let's
Okay, you're
roll.
talking. Welcome to the Deal Champs podcast. The Master of Hair is out today.
He gone.
I think he's getting hair plugs. I think the hair fell out. He has to go get hair plugs.
He said there was an emergency, right?
He said there was an emergency.
Putting out fires? I think he was putting out his hair. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the hair's gone. If you want my opinion, the hair's gone. There's real panic in the workplace. And I think Fresno itself would fall apart if Jason Pritchard lost his hair. So
there is an emergency.
There is an emergency, but he should be back next week.
Yeah.
But we have Mr. Captain America with us, and my name is Stratt Daddy. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'll do a quick intro. Right now, I'm doing a 0 to $1 million net challenge, wholesaling houses nationwide. And that'll be my claim to fame for the next 6 months. It's going to be a grind for the next 179 days. That's what going to be my main focus. Super exciting. And then we got Mr. Captain America, Dean Rogers.
What's up, guys? I'm just selling a deal right now. Getting it locked in, asking the magic questions to make sure we got it locked in. But guys, Dean Rogers, your other co-host here, started my career in the NFL, then transitioned to corporate, then into real estate. Been investing in Central California for 10 plus years now. We're just in year 11 and done over 600 deals, have a rental portfolio that Strat Daddy, it's right there next to 10 million bucks. It's right there. I'm about to break through the threshold. Been buying more rentals, made the mistake of not buying enough last year, got punched in the side of the face by taxes and not making that mistake again. So rental portfolio almost breaking 10 million. I've got a coaching program teaching students how to get started with wholesaling. Had a couple new students start today. And you guys can always connect with me at deanrogers.com.
I love it. What am I talking about? What deal are you selling right now? How much you making?
This one is in Fresno. This is a super ideal neighborhood, super easy in and out cosmetic deal. We're making $30,000 on this one. We are considering wholetailing it or flipping it. We would have, if we had done that, we would have made anywhere from $60,000 to $70,000. In this case, we're going to make $30,000 wholesaling it. Why did I make that decision? The decision was because I'm looking at all the properties we have in escrow right now. We have 24 properties in escrow. We have 9 properties that are projects we're working on that are in inventory. And we've been just buying a lot more properties, a lot more flips that we're doing than we normally do. Usually it's a couple at a time. But we've just had opportunities in front of us and we've been buying. So we've been buying and buying. And because of that, you get to the point where you got to make some smart business decisions. You know, what's going to be best for my cash flow? What's going to be best for my risk versus reward? And this is one of those moments where it's like, we could make more money on this deal, but not enough more to justify passing up on $30,000 in our bank account in 2 weeks or less. So we're going to wholesale this one.
Right. I mean, it adds the risk to it because everybody thinks if you flip houses, you make money. You could lose money, right?
You could run into a surprise. What if you got to replace the roof and you weren't expecting that? There goes 15 grand. What if you got to replace the water line? You thought the water was running, but there's a crack in it. There's a tree root that went right through it. There goes, 10 grand right there. I mean, there's all these different unseen things that could happen. They don't always happen, but when you do enough deals, they happen.
Oh, yeah. And I mean, 9 projects right now. You guys haven't had that many projects in a while.
No, I mean, at our peak, we used to be doing 20 flips at a time. I mean, to consider that we're at half of that right now, and it doesn't feel like a lot, says that we've grown a lot since then, but it's more than what we usually do. And if I'm looking at my my board here, pretty much every single one except for 2 are easy in and out deals. And whether we're wholetailing it or doing just a really small, very quick cosmetic flip, there's only 2 on the board that are like, okay, we're doing a project, not a big one, but we're doing a project. So yeah, it feels like it's a healthy balance. And I think that's important as you start to grow. You got to know what the right balance is, whether you think you could make more money doing, flipping or not.
Oh, I feel comfortable talking about this. Did you see my Facebook post today?
Which one?
Talking about $1 million in the bank.
Oh, tell me about it. No, I didn't see it.
For those of you guys who don't know, it's about Dean.
Oh,
I said one of my friends has $1 million in the bank, and he says it isn't enough.
it's
It's
not,
far
dude.
from, and he says it's far from enough. And it was
I'm telling you
interesting
right
to
now.
see. I'll read you guys the comments. Let me see here.
Let me hear about it. I'm actually really curious what the comments were. While you're doing
One of the
that,
guys.
I'm going to send
Go
out
ahead.
this DocuSign and get this deal sold.
Okay. And guys, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. All right, here we go. All right, here's the words on it. My friend has $1 million in the bank at all times. He says it isn't nearly enough. He says he will need to be significantly further along financially before he feels comfortable. His company is a cash cow, so his liquid net worth is growing month over month. I have really big financial goals, and they are to see what I am made of. I wouldn't stop at 1 million in the bank either. Do you guys have a freedom number set between money coming in from investments and liquid net worth?
It's a good post. You get some good comments.
Yeah, one of them, my friend Eric George. He's a great guy. Sounds like he's a very insecure individual.
You know what?
Um,
That's hilarious. I'm not going to say anything mean about it, but yeah, I've got two responses to that. One that's PC and one that's not. I guess that could be true, right? For some people, it
I
could
am
not feel like it's enough because you aren't. For others, it could be more than enough because you don't need or want more. By the way, my wife just brought me in a steak.
Oh, that's bro. Look at the fucking sear on that.
Dude, the
Tell her
sear is
good
pretty
job.
sweet. Yeah.
The sear
Usually
on
I
that is
make the
really
steaks in
good.
the house, but I just got back from running hills, which by the way, I did it in spite of you. I made sure before this podcast, I'm going to run hills. So I just come in just gassed. But I didn't have enough time to cook my lunch, which was the steak. So I told my wife, "Hey babe, could you make me a steak?" And she said, "Yes." So
Hills are
someone
for
will be munching
bitches.
on that.
Hills are for bitches.
But yeah, so when it comes to the money in the bank, dude, I mean, it comes from your experience. If you've always been secure and safe with money and been in a comfortable place, then $1 million may be like way overdoing it. If you've been in places where you've been broke and you know how painful it was, and I'm just speaking about myself, then I want to have such a security blanket and safety net that I can't be in that place again. And look, when you're doing deals, it takes money. I invest just under $100,000 a month just to keep the lights on, to pay for marketing, to pay for overhead, to pay for my team's salaries and their bonuses and stuff. Because obviously we're getting deals done, so they're getting paid out good stuff from the month before. So we're investing significant amounts of money into the business, and then when we're buying more deals right now. Some of these deals we're using hard money lender like Kiavi, company I love working with. We're coming out just yesterday. I wired $50,000 as a down payment. There's cash coming out of the bank. So for me, I want to be in the position where I don't feel tight. I don't feel like if something goes wrong, I'm in a bad place. And that just comes from my own personal experience. My partner tells me we have way too much money in the bank. The bank, when I sit down at Wells Fargo, they tell me, "Why do you have this much money in here?" Like I'm like, "Hey, dude, mind your own business. This is what makes me sleep really good at night."
For me, I feel like if you have the number set, and I talk to people about this a lot, you have the number set that makes you feel comfortable, and everything else is invested. Because like one dude said, where is it at? I didn't. Way too much cash to have in the bank. The money could be doubling every year with a minimal commercial real estate investments. Number one, that sounds like a fucking Ponzi scheme. I think having
Doubling
a
every
reserve,
year, that's easy, right? Those deals are everywhere.
bro, doubling every year. If you can double your money every year, Warren Buffett's a bitch. Like if you can double your money every year, Ray Dalio is nothing. Like Carl, like you could name the best investors, hedge fund people of all time. And like, no, you're not going to double your money every year. We may double in 3-4 years. I mean, but bro,
Yep.
you got it
Yep.
in 3-4 years. Like that's realistic in real estate if you buy great deals. But
Yeah.
again, you're buying 10 one doubles. You're not
Yep.
buying every deal and it doubles.
Yep.
What did he say? I think having reserves of your monthly expenses for, let's say, 6 months is the maximum you should have in cash. Your money is losing value every year in the bank. You have to offset it. I think the
Yeah.
last part is fair enough.
Totally fair. Totally fair. And here's another, I guess here's another response to that. The money isn't sitting there doing nothing. Maybe a portion of it is doing it, but that's the reserves people are talking about. Look, I'm investing seriously. What if there is a down month and we made no money? I'm still investing into the business, right? What happens if there's an incredible opportunity in front of us? I'm able to have that cash to invest into it. We've had that happen before. We've had I think it's 3 deals that we've closed in 24 hours or less. And it was the stars aligned. And guess what? We used cash to buy it. We didn't even wait on a private lender. We just got it done. And that's because we had the money in the bank to do that. And that's when I had, $500,000 in the bank. But now I could take on multiple opportunities if those come. So
And
to each
bro,
their own,
Warren Buffett keeps billions of dollars on hand,
Yeah.
just waiting for those opportunities. Essentially, he was
Yeah.
like, "I'm a very big cash person, so when the time comes, I think in like '08, he deployed billions, and it said essentially, I don't want to say double or tripled his net worth, but he made a fuck ton of money in that span of time because he was sitting on cash."
And that's actually, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a great point because we have had a couple opportunities recently where there was a 12 unit property, there was an 18 unit property, and it was like, hey, you're going to need $500,000 as a down payment or $500,000 when you refinance it based on the way the numbers are at. Do we pass on this opportunity or do we happen to have the reserves to be able to actually do that? Well, we do. And that's why we were actually trying to put the deals together. So that's a good point of like, hey, look, Warren Buffett has cash on hand for opportunities. And we've been talking about a market crash for how long now? Like
12 years,
eventually it's
14 years.
probably,
Yeah.
I think it's been 15. Eventually I think it's going to happen. Something's going to happen and there's going to be opportunities waiting to be picked up. And if I don't have the capital to do that or the relationships to do that, then I'm going to miss out on opportunity. So that's the other part of it.
Let's see some other good opinions from these people. I think it will just continue to get bigger and bigger, which is fine as long as it doesn't consume you. I agree with that. I thought 500K in the bank would make you feel comfortable. Now it's closer to $1 million. I think it will continue to grow as I do, mainly because it's no fun to dip below your comfort level you have set. That's what I think. So from now on, the idea of 1 million in the bank in order to never fall below 500K as we work through deals, the bank account ebbs and flows suck. They suck balls.
It can
Shout
be
out
tough.
Alon. He said, with inflation, I'm gonna need 7.2 M's in the bank.
There we go.
Chris Miles, we both know Chris Miles. It depends on your business. If you employ marketing strategies that could take at least 9 months to reduce results, it's better for you to have at least 9 months of reserves. Personally, I like to have at least 12 months of reserves for emergencies, and that doesn't include building my war chest for other investments. So, I mean, yeah,
it's the other investments thing for me,
underestimate
man.
people underestimate working capital and the amount of
Yeah.
like actual working capital you need to have. To where if your payroll is 100 grand a month, and we've been here to where Stripe ended up holding $100,000 from us. Our payroll was $80,000 a month, and I didn't have 100 grand in the bank. Luckily, Stripe let it go. But Jesus fucking Christ, like that type of stuff, to where you do need to have working capital to get that done.
Yeah. I couldn't agree more. That working capital is a real thing. And dude, we threw Deal Champ Summit, and that was $120,000.
120 grand.
120 grand. We kind of made the joke knowing that it would be close. We were saying, oh, it's going to be 6 figures. It was 6 figures, all right, and some. And those were checks that we were cashing before the money was in. So
Yeah, that was stressful. All right, guys, if you're watching this, tell us where you're from. We know we got people in here. Leave a comment on IG. Leave a comment. Mitch Craig Higginson here.
shout out to the people on Instagram too. See, we got Sam Singh, we got Dustin Vassar, we got Emilio, we got J Rod,
we got Xavier. Xavier said, here to see my boy Netta Millie. There we go.
Well, let's go.
Xavier said best investor ever did was 39% for 30 years. Exactly. I mean, it's crazy. People don't realize that having liquid cash is okay. Nobody invests 100% of all their money because of inflation. No,
Yep.
I'm going to go back on this rant. I was listening to a podcast today of a dude who netted about $100 million over 3 different transactions of selling his company.
Hey, we got someone from Costa Rica here. What
Really?
up, Joshua? Yeah.
What's going on? What's going on, Cheng? And then they call me Hudson. Zico Labs. Ron Woods. What's going on, Ron? We got Mitch.
So Strat Daddy, this deal, this is what's so cool about this business. This deal that I hadn't even sent out. I had another investor who's just hungry for another deal text me, said, hey, what about that Fresno deal? I text him back, here's the deal, about to hit send. He said, sold. I want it. Don't send it out. He said he can close in 7 days. That's the 21st. Okay. Today's the 14th. That's the 21st. I'm going to be in England cruising around doing touristy stuff while our company makes another 30,000 from this deal. So that's what's so cool about this deal. When you can get it running and get the systems in place, you got the marketing going, you got all the good stuff, allows you to build the life you want.
But now you can't have your notary walk around with you everywhere in Europe. So does Lewis have to sign all the notary docs?
Dude, low-key, I'm a little upset about that. I'd have to be at the American consulate the whole trip in order to get the doc signed. So now I gotta have Lewis sign the closing documents, which I enjoy doing. Like, I have a notary coming later today. I've got a stack of papers right here that I just signed, another deal. So yeah, I like doing all that.
All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you guys so much for the comments. If this is on YouTube and you're watching it, don't forget to hit like and subscribe. We're getting a ton of great comments on this post. I might be if I can continue up my great Facebook
That's a great
writing.
post.
I think it stirs up some.
That one right there is definitely going to get people to be like, "No, wait a second. This is how I feel about that."
Yeah, right. I'm going to try and do one of those a week to get us some interesting topics to talk about on the champs. But we've got our 0 to $1 million challenge going. It's live. That's been exciting.
How's it going so far? What are the growing pains? Because there's no way that's just easy.
No, the 10 DLC setup with Simply has been a shit show.
Dude, that's hard no matter where you're at, right?
Oh, bro. Last year when we had to set it up in our Go High level, it took us a fucking month.
Yeah.
And what makes it hard about not having that is that when leads come in at 2 a.m, you can't just text them right away.
Yeah. Yeah. Can't have an automatic text hit them. Hey, got your information. Right. We're going to be in touch with you.
I'd say that is stressful, right? Because we have probably 2 leads a night come in because we've been ramping up our lead flow.
Yeah.
And we have 2 leads a night come
from all over.
Oh, bro. Like, we got them in. I'll tell you right now. So we just got one from Georgia, one from West Virginia, one from Florida, one from Lancaster, one from Anderson, one from Tucson, Fountain.
What are you looking at? A piece of paper, or are you looking at a computer?
I'm just looking at my
okay. You get the text notification.
I get a text notification too, but it's all on Simply.
Yeah. I like the text notification because it's like another thing you're familiar with, and it just like grabs your attention.
It grabs my attention, and because I'm building it just me right now, it's not like I have another team member to do it because I'm gonna wait till we close deals to pay people.
Yeah. So is that the plan? Are you gonna bring on team members?
Oh, bro, yeah. Like, I'm gonna build something in public, the whole thing.
That's legit.
You know, got to stroke that entrepreneur ego. If I think I'm such a good entrepreneur, then get it done. Because I think closing deals is one thing. I think having to build something from scratch that operates smoothly or operates is another thing. Because I wouldn't say I'm like a killer closer. I'd say I'm more of like I'm a good leader. I can close, but I'm more marketing and leadership is what I'd say like my two strong points are.
So let's talk about that. So you're pretty much at the ground floor right now, right? Just getting the ball rolling. So what is your focus? What's the game plan right out the gate? How are you going to get traction and how are you going to get results?
We're doing so. Shout out LeadZolo. Go to getleadzolo.com for their leads. Bro, I got the best affiliate plugs, guys. If you guys want to know about how to like really structure your affiliates, hit me up. And I got this info from Dean, and I immediately went to GoDaddy after our like 30-minute phone call.
Yep.
And I went and bought all of my.
It's so good, right?
It's so good. But LeadZolo is providing us all the leads. Within the next day or so, we should be ramped up to about 20 leads a day, which is bananas. Like that's a ton of PPC leads. That's a lot. Even cold calling leads, that's a lot. When we were cold calling last year,
that's a lot.
Stuff, like we had 2 full-time sales reps and a leads manager on the phone for 8 to 10 hours a day, like nonstop with that many leads. So right now the only thing is, bro, getting people on the phone. I'd say with the internet leads, it's a little bit harder to get them on the phone as fast.
Why is that?
I don't know, bro. As soon as the lead comes in, I reach out to them.
And they're just not getting back?
Yeah, they're just not like texting back, not answering. We've had a decent
They're not texting back either?
No. We've had a decent amount of like a fourth of the leads have been people who don't even understand what the ad is, I would say.
Isn't that fascinating?
Like one lady's like, I live in an airport. I was like, bitch, what are you doing? Like,
live in an airport?
She's like, I live in an airport. Why are you calling me? I was like, well, do you own this house over here? It's listed. She was like, well, I don't know. Do I? I was like, I can't do this.
Oh my gosh.
I can't do this. So like, there's people like that. I'd say we've had 5 Spanish speakers who we've had to send to cold callers who work for us. I'd say half of them have been listed. Half to a third of them have been listed.
That's interesting.
That haven't been, and it hasn't been like listed for long.
Is it one of those? Does it have a filter through when they're going fill out the form that says something about like, is your house listed or not?
Yes, and then like with Resimply, shout out, go to getresimply.com if you're looking for a great CRM. But you just hit the Zillow button, it'll pull it up for you, and then it's for sure, and then it'll just pull up as listed. And then from there, we've had a total of about 40 leads come in over the last week of ramping stuff up. We've made about 10 offers. We have, let me refresh this page. $11 leads we can't get a hold of. 1 with an appointment set. 3 contact made that we're pushing them forward. 5 in due diligence.
Okay, so you just use the standard like default statuses for Resimply, right?
Yeah, well, I don't want to, because I have Paul with OmniDrip who'll come on tomorrow, and I don't want to fuck up the things.
I don't think there's any need. I mean, you can customize it all you want, but I don't think there's really. And the thing is as they come out with future updates that may move some other things around or whatever, you could, if you like re-architect it too heavily,
everything
could throw things off. Could throw things off. Yeah.
And the whole reason I picked Resimply, I think they're great. I have some friends with some great GHL build outs, but the last thing I wanted was the ability to have to go build something out myself. Because like when you have the option, you're going to lean into it and like try and make it better and try and make it better and try and make it better, to where that's That is not what I'm about. I'm about talking to sellers, making money. Yeah, I mean, we have new lead. 7 days of hell is one of my sections where we're hammering people. Contact made, appointment set, due diligence, offer made, then under contract. And then we have the wholesale pipeline down there. Nothing's in there yet. And then we have 2 in our warm lead section. And then how many do we have in our dead leads? We have 16 dead leads, and I'd say 3 of those are tests. But we've had
what's been the biggest challenge so far? I mean, you're at the beginning.
Getting
it's
people
all about
on the
leads.
Phone.
Yeah,
I'd say getting people on the phone, bro. And then
that'll be good to have Paul on, because he's going to talk about how you can set up these drip campaigns in Simply to just do automatic follow-up without you having to chase people around.
Well, that's why I'm irritated about the 10 DLC, right? Because it would make your life so much easier. So I'd say 10 DLC, getting people on the phone. Those are really the only 2 hard things. I'd say I haven't done as many at-bat wholesale sales like this in a very long time. Because like my phone calls usually aren't that long. But shout out RJ Bates. I have yet to have someone not tell me their price. It's the first question I ask. Like, hey, great. How much are you looking to sell the property for? And I get an answer every time.
Yeah.
I've yet to have someone not tell me the answer, which I think is grade A. A lot of people don't get that access.
No, when you can, so that's what's cool, guys. If you didn't pick up on what Stratt's saying. So as a result of people like Stratt who continue to invest in themselves, put themselves in rooms with other people, create opportunities for other people to get together, network, collaborate together, right? We just had Deal Champ Summit. We had people like RJ Bates and Brent Daniels and Austin Rutherford and Nick Perry and Ryan Dossey, and just the list goes on and on. People that came to our event now as a result of like having these opportunities for other people. And by the way, we made no money from that event. It was literally like a break-even event, $0 made event. And the months of time and effort to put in there. That's all just building up. That's that abundance mindset, and where you're just giving and giving and giving. And some point in time, it's going to come back. So, right, because Stratt's built these relationships with these other guys. Now we got Sam Prim that just joined us. What's up, Sam?
Oh, is he on IG?
IG. Yep.
What's going on, Sam?
Ha! Oh, Sam says Dean has small triceps. I like to see.
Ooh, he does though. He can't do the tricep pull downs. I got gym footage of it.
I got the tricep pull downs. What are you talking about?
Bro.
All right, let's get back.
50.
Let's get the footage of me getting those clean ass reps on the bamboo bar, and you're shaking all over the place. You know,
bro.
Now, if you want to start talking trash, we can talk trash.
Disrespect as far as doing one more rep after I went. To piss me off.
Yeah, you went first, and then I was like, just watch me now. I'm gonna do one more rep. You know how we do it. Full of creatine and water, Sam says.
All right, back to the topic at hand. Sam, you're right. He has small triceps. It's okay. He doesn't want to admit it. He runs hills to compensate.
You know what? They got some juice on them. You can see a little bit right there. I just don't have the horseshoe. They got some volume. They got some size.
If you don't have a horseshoe, you don't have anything.
All right. Okay. I'll let you win this one. Jake says he's never benched with both of us.
Hey, bro, most people could probably outbench me, you know?
Hey, you were pushing up 3 plates the other day. That's no small feat. That's a lot of weight right there.
That was a lot of weight. I'm scared to try it again because I see all these people getting hurt, like maxing out on their bench. I think the fact that I hit 3 plates and I was happy with it, I don't think I really need to max out anymore.
No. Once you hit the weight, I mean, it's just could have been a good day. There's no need to just go over the top. Back to real estate, Sam says.
All right, back to wait. I got some questions on my end, then we'll go back to what we were talking about. Actually, let's go back to what you were talking about. The best part for us about throwing that event besides is honestly the networking on both sides, in my opinion. We get to network with everybody in the audience, everyone at the mixers. Again, we didn't make any money from it. It was all essentially just network and brand. But then we got to network in the green room with all the speakers, and that's essentially a mastermind you'd have to pay $100,000 to be a part of.
Yeah, no joke.
And then you get to learn from Sam, right? You get to talk to Sam about all their stuff. We get to talk to Shamus. We get to talk to Ian, Austin, Nick. You get to talk to everybody and ask them whatever questions you want. And that is, to me, the game changer on our end, because you get to really business to business wise, it's super helpful.
Dude, that green room was sick. The conversations we got to have back there. I think realizing how cool it was, we're going to make it even cooler next year.
Yeah, next year will be insane. All right, Angel, what's lead source for the last deal in Fresno? Do you know?
Let me check. This one came from PPC.
Nice.
Yeah,
Angel,
which I'm happy because, dude, PPC's been up and down for us. We've tested out and tried multiple different PPC companies, different agencies. Won't even get into talking about PPL companies, but with PPC, it's always gone through ups and downs. Sometimes it hits for us. Sometimes it doesn't. Last year was a 9X for us. I'd say I'm happy with that for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was a stretch towards the end of last year and the beginning of this year where it just wasn't working. And by that, I mean, we were getting leads, but we just weren't closing deals from it, either because the leads just weren't good or some of those deals fell out. And so from a KPI standpoint, it just tells you right there, it's not working. But sometimes you need to have, the long-term vision of, has it worked at all? And is it going to continue to work? And I'm a big believer. I don't like to just turn stuff off when it's not working right away. I'm here for the long run. So
how do you make those decisions? I think people need to hear about that. Like, how do you make those decisions and actually do it? Because a lot of times it may just be a rut in whatever happens when cold calling. You can even buy a bad set of data and that month will be really bad because like you bought bad data. Like, so how do you make those decisions?
Let's hang on to this. Let's stay on the topic. I'm going to make sure to bring this question up. Catch Fish Rich says, is AI helping with leads? So
I want to talk about that too.
That's a good question. So we'll come back to that. Catch Fish Rich. I got to say that slow so I don't mumble it. So how do I make the decisions? Well, at this point in the business, having consistency with my marketing, consistency with my deal flow, I still can't be reckless, right? Because marketing dollars, when you're spending tens of thousands of dollars, if it's not working, can eat up your cash really fast. So it has to work. It can't not work. But when you're looking at your business, when you have a tool like Resimply, okay, why I shout it from the mountaintops, you guys can get it at getResimply.com.
Oh,
you guys, yep.
That one's yours, huh?
That one's mine, yeah. Yours is try Resimply. GetResimply.com. You have the ability to have instantaneous insight into what's working, okay? Some of these insights are leading indicators, some of them are trailing indicators. And what that means is sometimes the money you've spent right now isn't going to show the results until later. Sometimes the results that you're getting now are not because of what you're doing right now. It's because of what you did before. So you got to be careful when looking at that. For me, I don't want to do any marketing unless I'm willing to do it for 6 months. Okay. It's really important because here's a good example. And this isn't me thinking that I should have kept doing it. I stopped it for, in my opinion, good reason. I did marketing with a Facebook marketing agency for 6 months. I spent a little over $30,000 with 0 deals. And it was to that point where I was like, okay, I have tested it. I have waited enough. I'm going to cancel this. This was last year. As soon as I canceled it, we got another deal. One of the leads that we were following up on ended up hitting. We got the deal under contract. We wholetailed it and we made $111,000. So
anomaly.
it's an anomaly. If that deal doesn't happen, then it is a complete loss. You know what I mean? So Joe says, got to plant today to harvest tomorrow. I couldn't agree with that more. I mean, marketing is one of those things where, depending upon which marketing strategy you're using, most of them take time. Most of them take months to get the traction that you're looking for, and you got to stay on it consistently. The minute you turn it off, the minute your opportunities are off. Marketing is the lifeblood of your business. So I make the decision based on looking at the data and looking at multiple different marketing channels and seeing what's working and what's not, and then understanding what should that marketing channel be doing for me. If it's cold calling, I know generally the quality of the leads are going to be a little lower, but it's going to be less expensive. If it's PPC, I know generally the leads should be higher quality, but more expensive. And so I want to then, the other thing that's really helpful for me is, whether it's a company that I'm using to help me with my marketing or it's my own self, I want to reevaluate things on a frequent basis so that I can understand what's working or what changes they can make. So again, if it's another company like Yellow Letter HQ, who I use to send out my direct mail, I just reached out to them yesterday and I said, hey, what are your top VIP investor clients using for marketing right now? What changes are they making? This is what I'm using. What are they using? What changes should I make? And they just gave me some advice just yesterday, and I changed one of my orders. And there was a tweak on the order that actually saved me like $2,000 to spend less, but still get the same look and feel and result. So, yeah, you just got to raise your hand and ask too. You can't be just, staying in your own lane. You got to connect with others and see what they're doing.
I think, and doing this challenge, the hardest thing for me is just putting your balls out on the line and being willing to get exposed, right?
Yeah.
And then take criticism from others and actively put yourself in a situation to where, and I'm talking about from your peers, not from the randoms, but from your peers.
Yeah, that's hard, dude. That's the hardest. If you've ever done a presentation for a job that you have, or you're role playing on, let's just say, real estate investing and talking to a seller, doing stuff in front of your peers is easily the most nerve-wracking thing to do, because they already know the answers, so to speak. I remember doing a speaker training back in February that we talked about, and it was all of my peers and people I looked up to. And it was like, when I was brought up, because I would give feedback during the training, I would be asked to stand up and participate. And my face got flush red. My body got all hot and sweaty. I was nervous, and it was like, dude, I know what I'm talking about, but I'm still nervous because I'm in front of my peers. And so I think that's actually a good exercise to go through that, because it really pushes you outside of your comfort zone and allows you to work through those feelings and emotions, and will make you better for sure.
Let's talk about the AI stuff. Dean, do you work with a blanket on your legs, or are you just raw dogging it under there?
I'm confused by this question.
I have a blanket at all times at my desk. I'm freezing at all times.
I'm not cold. Yeah, I don't do a blanket.
Do you wear shoes in the house?
Probably more than I should. Usually I take the shoes off. I got them right underneath my desk right now because I just got done with my workout.
So you wore your workout shoes through the house and into your office?
All right, Mr. Blanket, take it easy on me, okay? Yeah, I wear them more than I should, but my wife always tells me, like, dude, no, it's not good. So she knows better.
All right, before we get to this AI one, Does Simply allow you to plug in a chatbot, or do they have their own chatbot?
They have their own. They are in beta mode right now, and I've
Should I
seen
text
it
Renee?
on.
Are you using it?
I'm not using it yet. Let me look at this thing, because on the advisory calls, we've talked about it.
What's it built on?
I know the natural question is going to be, is it Chat GPT, which I don't think is. Chat GPT open APIs where you can just plug and play it wherever you want.
Yeah. Like, so majority of people's like GHL closing bots are built on Chat GPT.
Oh, okay. I don't know what it's built on. I don't remember asking that question. He probably told me, but yeah, it's not fully released yet, I don't think. Let me take a look here. Yeah, no, it's not fully released yet. I'd imagine they're still working on it. We haven't talked about it in a while, so
I'm gonna text Shanae. I'll be a beta tester.
that'd be cool.
I wonder how it works though with the chat bot and drips.
Well, that's just it. It's supposed to replace the drips. That's what it's supposed to be. Well, I've seen it in action. I've seen some of the like simulations that they've done. And to the question from Catfish Rich, I think that there's a lot of power in it. I've seen other people with other platforms use it and make it very, very powerful. I mean, just think about it. You can't understand tone or dialect or whatever the right words are for if you're texting. So anybody could have like a really casual conversation with texting, and I've seen it at work to where you can have like a super like business casual type conversation with somebody and have it be empathetic to a situation or understand needing to schedule things. So the long story short is we're not using it right now, but we are paying a very close attention to utilizing it on follow-up. In fact, I mentioned this to you the other day, Stratt. When I was at Pace Morby's office last Tuesday, he mentioned a AI tool he and his team are building right now specifically to roll out in the next couple months. He's going to start with some people that he knows, and I'm gonna beta test it, where this platform is going to do outbound calls, outbound texts, and do all the follow-up as well. So it's actually going to make calls and talk to people, and then it's also going to do the follow-up too.
I don't like the outbound calls because it's going to get shut down.
I don't love that part either.
Because like with because I've looked into it. Me and Willie Numbers were talking about it. And at a point in time, we were thinking about spending like $25,000 on an Air AI license. And then I have all the training data in the world to get it trained.
Is it that much?
Like for like a full license, yeah. But then, what's the difference between that and a robocall? Like that's a true robocall.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I just couldn't see like you getting around the issues when the issues come up. And that was what freaked me out about it. Texting and inbound, because ChatGPT just released a new product that we were talking about, Dean, the other day. The 5, like ChatGPT 5 or whatever.
What are the differences with that? What's going to happen with ChatGPT 5?
Now it has like voice. It's crazy. It understands
Oh,
tonality.
really?
It can translate. Yeah, I've seen some demos. I haven't like dove into it, but it's pretty cool. To where that could, well, for sure, eliminate a lot of inbound customer service reps. Especially like as you get it trained and you have enough training data and phone calls, like those offshore companies that handle customer service need to find something else to do, honestly.
Oh, dude, that would be gone, right?
Oh, it's
I'm already talking to robots. I'm already convincing the dang robot lady on the phone to connect me with the right person. So it's already happening. it's just gonna be at a much higher level
You're
to
not
where
going to
you
know.
truly can. Yeah, you can
Yeah.
truly get rid. I mean, it's already hard. Most of the people are from out of this country on the initial customer support calls.
Yep.
There's already an accent. It already doesn't sound natural or organic to what I'm used to having a conversation with. I already have to kind of talk a little differently, maybe talk a little slower to make sure we understand each other. So I think, what's the difference with a robot, you know?
But while I have you here, what does your dispo process look like to a T?
Hmm.
And do you ever use Investor Lift? Bro, it's sexy. I'd never use the platform, and then Liam gave me
It's
like an
great.
hour demo. It's sexy
It's
as
great,
fuck.
dude. It's super sexy. There's no doubt that it's sexy. I think it's really great. I don't use it now. And the reason I don't use it now is because I'm a creature of habit. And what I'm doing right now works insanely well. Monday, just yesterday, sold 2 deals. The 2 deals that I sent out sold within minutes with many, many backups, exactly at the price that I wanted and asked for. And I spent no time talking on the phone with the people.
Let's call this guy real quick.
Let's call him.
Hey Frank, this is Stratton with Easy Fast Offers. How you doing?
I'm okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I was just calling to follow up with you about that property on Filbert that you went on our website and filled out. Is now a good time for you to talk?
I suppose. I mean, it's one of those things that have been ongoing for a while. I've had every Tom, Dick, and Harry, so and so buys homes, and stuff like that. And so far, it's not enough. I think the best offer I've had is $2.5 million, and it's prime. It's prime real estate. The house is a resto mod from foundation to roof, 100% plus.
And how much were you looking to sell for?
I think I have a partner, call him a family partner. I think he agreed that we would go 4.5.
4.5. And
Yeah.
what would you say the overall, what would you say the overall condition of that thing is?
It's flawless. I'm telling you, literally. It's got a new foundation, new electrical, new plumbing, new everything. It's brand new. I don't know what kind of a home buyer you are now, but this has a situation where I have a partner in the property who is my ex-wife's boyfriend, and I've been involved with the property for 15 years, and I actually restored it back to its original state. And then one of his family members decided they thought they were entitled to the property, so they got another person. It's his daughter's husband who was in prison for embezzling real estate and stuff like that. So they tried to pull a fast one, and it's been ongoing for some time. But they finally vacated the property, and because they were trying to sell it with a accommodation deed, which was totally false, and the property's still in my name at City Hall. So it's a little complicated, and not everyone wants to get involved. This one home buyer who's been, like a lonely girlfriend who always calls me up trying to hey, do you want to sell it? You want to sell it? I'm like, no, it's not enough money.
Why don't you just list it?
That's a good question. I'm dealing. Ron it was his family, and I became part owner because I did all the work to this house, so it's in my name. But it's complicated. He's like 77 years old, and he's like an attorney without a law degree, but he's really smart. But he's just he's slow, and so the first thing I'd have to do is, get a locksmith, go over there, change the locks, go in. I had to deal with these people before, and my health is, I'm dealing with some health conditions, so it's just stressful for me to do that again. I did it once, and it just was a nightmare.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Yeah, it is what it is, and I just, every once in a while I see something like, I don't even know where I saw this thing, and something popped up on my phone and said, hey, like, I sell your property or whatever. So I filled it out. And then, sometimes I'm a little hesitant because I'm going to get 90 million fucking phone calls, excuse my French. And, but I'm ready. My health is very important to me, and I'm dealing with some things. And, I would like to, eventually, I would like to be done with it and kind of live the way I thought I was going to live.
Okay. And when you say live like the way you thought you were going to live, what exactly do you mean by that?
That means have money to live on. I mean, when I was living there, we converted it into Airbnb, and I was getting a nice little nut every month, and I was happy. But it's just more lifestyle than anything. And then ever since this whole nightmare has taken place, it's it forced me into early retirement, and yeah, I keep hearing noises for some reason. I don't know what it is.
I think it's just an echo.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm sorry. I'm a sensitive bitch. I can get frustrated. But anyway, yeah. I just I was gonna actually call Ron and tell him that I was gonna try to talk to another person. But I'm ready. At this point, I almost ready to take anything just because life is short. When I had the house and I was living there, it was okay. I worked. I had to work. I did all the housekeeping, and I got we made a shit ton of money off of Airbnb, and so I was happy for all involved. But since then, things have changed, and it's stressful.
Okay. And I'm sorry I didn't cover this at the beginning. This will only be like a 5 to 15-minute call. Really, our whole thing here is by the end of the call, we just want you to be able to make a decision, yes or no. Yes is awesome. No is fantastic too. Really, one way or another, it doesn't matter.
Of course.
We just want you to have options.
It's just, I'm looking for, serious players that, don't want to lowball so much for a house that's literally like brand new, but except it was built in 1914.
And where did you get your asking price of 4.5?
I just kind of, I've looked at a lot of prices, throughout the city, and, a lot of it's relative. You just, I just know that the house value wise is better than a lot of properties that are, in that price range or higher, So, I'm just trying to get, at least an offer.
Okay.
If I don't know how, you couldn't have looked at anything that quick if you called me in that short a time to, otherwise, I don't know what you have to go on as far as making an offer. So maybe what you should do is, wherever, I don't know how your operation works, but I'm dead serious, and so are they. But it's got to be something reasonable that they'll accept. I think at this point, it's just got to convince. It's just a matter of convincing Ron and my ex-wife, like of a price, so that they all can live with it. It's kind of be split up a little bit. So, I just want to get the best offer possible, and then, I know you guys got to make money, but I know that this is a valuable location and property.
And so, like, what does a decent offer look like to you?
Well, you got to start somewhere. I'm thinking, I've talked to some other real estate agents that, said, "Yeah, don't sell it so cheap. They said it's worth a lot more money." So I'm thinking, I could live with 4 million. I mean, before any of this went down, the house was worth, 3.5 or something like that. I can't remember exactly, but since then, it's been completely renovated, and there's more square footage. It just, and it's a prime location, and so I just want something reasonable. And then I got to go to Ron and Carol and say, "Hey, this guy, what's your name?"
Stratton.
Stratton. Oh, that's a cool name.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, that's different. Kind of cool. Yeah, I just got to go to them and say, "Hey, I'm talking to Stratton," and then I'll hand you off to Ron, because he's the knowledgeable one when it comes to real estate and law and all that shit. And so it's like, I'm just trying to be really straightforward and honest with you about what's happening, and I just want to be done with it.
Okay. And so Ron's put you in charge of handling everything, and it doesn't sound like Ron wants to do anything, but he wants top dollar.
Well, he wants a reasonable offer. I don't think he's looking for top dollar. I think he wants a reasonable offer. And so, I don't know. I should have called him first and said, "Hey, what's the bottom line today?" Because, we're neither of us are getting any younger, and like I say, I'm dealing with some health conditions, and the money will help me extend my life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, we really there's two options. We have a cash offer that's quick, but it needs to be at a price that works for both of us.
Or what would that be? You have any ideas? You called me so quick, I don't know how you could have made an assessment.
No. I don't have an assessment yet. I'm gonna have to call the partners back and see what they think. And then your other option would be, and this may be the best fit for you, is just list it. Because if it's
well, that's kind of where we've been, and he's working on his due diligence. I forget what it is. He's the legal guy. I can't talk all the shit that he talks, but if you guys want to do your assessment, throw a number, and then I, depending on what it is, I can hand you off to him, because he really is way more knowledgeable in areas that I'm not.
And so how soon were you looking to get this done? Like 30 days, a couple months, 6 months, a year?
As soon as possible. 30 days. I mean, as soon as possible. But whatever. I also don't want to give it away, and I'm not stupid. And I know we're getting closer and closer to something. It's just that he's older. He's got a lot to deal with. He also had some other. They kind of took advantage of his mom, who's older woman, and embezzled some other properties that he actually built for them and his father. The father's passed away. Just a lot of rigmarole, so he's dealing with a lot of crap. And so I don't bug him too much, but, I want to, between me and my ex-wife, we want to move on. We want to be done with it.
Okay.
And so, but I'm just being really frank with you, because that's my first name.
That was a good one.
Well, it's the truth.
Real quick, do you have square footage numbers on you, like how big it actually is? I'm trying to pull it up, and I'm not seeing it.
Oh, shit. I'd have to look it up. I'm thinking it's around 3,500 square feet, but I can't remember exactly. I treading water for so long, and I try to let go sometimes, just for my health, because I'm working on something.
Yeah, health is the most important thing.
Yeah, without a doubt,
And so it says right here that Joseph Wong owns it. And
yeah, well, that's a straw buyer. They don't own it. Trust me. If you went to City Hall, you'll see that my name is on the deed, the title.
What do you mean by straw buyer?
there was a crooked what do you call it? What do they call those receivers that was involved in it, and they got some Orange County title to make a false deed essentially. But I mean, at City Hall in the legal paperwork, I'm the owner. You know, that Joseph Wong is just I forget the name. His maybe it's his wife. I can't remember her name, but she was the one that was involved that I've ever seen, and they're crooked.
Okay. I mean, at this, do you think it's more important now to sell it quickly or to get everything you can out of it?
Say that again?
Right now, like just thinking about selling the property, you think it's more important you to sell it quickly or to sell it and get everything you can out of it?
Well, somewhere in between. You know, I realize that's why I'm even trying once again on another day to talk to a guy that, you know, this probably sounds like insanity, but I'm not making anything up. And according to Ron, he knows the law, and he says we have nothing to worry about. Because, I mean, they did try for the longest time to list it and sell it, and then they were not able to. And then, you know, they paid all this money to have the house staged, and then they vacated it, you know, because they know they're not getting anywhere, and they had to pay every month for the staging. So, you know, I think we're making headway, but this is just the reality of it, and you know, I'm got nothing to hide.
Okay, so we're there. Let's say, so it's you and Ron who are technically on title, who are going to be making this decision.
Right? Yeah. I mean, I would talk to him, and he has to agree because, you know, I mean, I respect him. He put me on the deed, I don't know, quite a few years ago when I did all the work on the house and, you know, resurrected it, and I turned it into an Airbnb, and we were making money and all that stuff. So that was my reward. And now it's just, you know, more of an agreement between him, my ex-wife, and myself as we're, you know, split it up, you know, when we get money out of it.
No, and so you three would be the ones making that choice. You, Ron, and your ex-wife.
Yeah. And I mean, mainly Ron. You know, I mean, she's my ex-wife. She's ready to go. She wants to be done with it because it's like, you know, it's not good for either of their health. You know, she's a year younger than me, but I mean, he's getting up there, and you know, it's stressful. You know, so she's ready to go. I'm sure if it's a reasonable offer, I just got to get him to go. Yeah, Ron, let's do it.
Okay.
Because, I mean, you would not. This is one of those situations where you would not have to do a thing to this house. It's literally a resto mod. Like, you know what a hot rod is when they put a new frame on it, put all new motors and everything. It's like that.
Okay. Let's assume you like our offer. Ron likes our offer. And you guys decide to move forward. What's the next thing you guys would have to figure out, if anything?
Nothing I know of. Just the transaction, and make sure that we get that money. That's all. You know.
Okay. I think this is about all the information I need. I'm gonna take about 20-30 minutes. I got to talk to the partners, see what the property qualifies for.
Okay.
And then I'll call you back. It hopefully it doesn't take too long. All I ask from you is that you make a confident decision, yes or no. If we could get Ron on the phone as well, that'd be great. With that being said, do you have any questions for me?
No. I mean, you know, I like your name, and you speak clearly and sound like an intelligent guy, and you know, and I'm in reality too. I've been dealing with this for a long time, so you know, it will definitely, if I can get something done, it'll change my life. It'll probably put years on my life. So, and that's the most important thing, because I have daughters and a granddaughter, and I'm in a holding pattern. I'm tired of it.
Okay. Sounds like health is really important to you. I'll let the people know.
Okay, and then let's see. I got to see if I have your number here. so I don't like mess up when you call back. 937.
Nope, it's gonna be.
No. Oh shit! Where the hell would it be? It just came in. Let's see.
Sometimes it doesn't show up when you're on the phone. It'll be It'll be an 801 number.
Okay, 801. That's all. Just I get all kinds of shit numbers all the time, and I answered yours because I knew there was a possibility that you'd be calling quick based on it. When I clicked on that box, it said, you agree. You get people calling you.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So do I.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not going to take any other. I'm dealing with Stratton right now, and hopefully Briggs will call me.
That's a good one.
Sorry, I'm a goofball.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Frank. You have a great night.
All right, bro. I appreciate it. Thank you for your time, and I'll probably call Ron, have a conversation with him, and say that you might hit me up with an offer.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Talk to you in a bit. Bye. All right.
You there, Dino?
Yeah.
I mean, we got the motivation. He's not really the main. He's not really the main decision maker. He could agree to taking fucking $1 million and we wouldn't really be anywhere.
That's what folks said in my IG chat. Sounds like the boyfriend, ex-girlfriend is the decision maker.
Yeah.
Yeah. AJ Invests asks, where did you find this lead?
Oh, go to getleadzolo.com. That's where we got the lead.
Yep.
That's where we got the lead. We got JD Moore hyping it up. Awesome response.
Yeah. So, I mean, the good thing about that call is you got to kind of know a little bit more about where he was at. When I go through my script, I'm going to pull it up right now.
A lot of that was Dean's script. I need to reorganize it because I go for price first. Like price is number one that I'm going after. And then we've never had, let's say over these calls, had pushback on like not knowing a price.
You're also dealing, I think the reason you can do that is you're dealing with a different lead, right?
Inbound lead.
Inbound
with direct
lead.
mail, I feel like it'd be a lot harder.
It's tougher. You could still pull it off, but it's tougher. And for that point as well, it's also your approach and your style. There's probably some science as to which is better than the other, but some people naturally have a style. Yeah. Some people naturally have a style where it's good to just lean in to price right out the gate. That's an RJ Bates thing for sure. For me, I'm willing to spend more time and really build that rapport and trust, be the authority in the conversation and steer it to where I want to get all the puzzle pieces, I call them, before I start getting into price, because that price, I want to have a reaction to it. They could tell me $200,000. I don't know if it's a sweet house or a terrible house. I can't react to it yet. I want to build up to it first so that when I get to price, it's got a lot of weight to it. And I got all the puzzle pieces to really lean into that reaction that I'm going to have to it and help me from there. So
I like that though. That's solid reasoning. I mean, his price, honestly, well, no, 4.5. His price is actually really bad.
Yeah.
Nothing. A 5.2 that's 2,700 square feet.
What city is this house in?
San Francisco.
Okay.
It's like in the heart of San Francisco. It's
what neighborhood? I used to live over there for a couple of years.
It's North Point. Honestly, it's like is this right by Chinatown? It's Broadway and Van Ness.
Okay. That's pretty busy, pretty thick of the city.
Like it's in the thick of the city, but I'm looking at these comps. Nothing has sold for over $2 million. And the highest one, 1.8. I mean, so essentially with these types of ones, I just call them and like, hey, here's where we're at, man. Like we're looking at it, you see one
You got to
thing.
make the offer, right? You got to make
Yeah.
the offer. You can't just throw it away. You don't know if that's going to be something they just end up going with. They could, you know? So who are you to just discredit them and tell them it's not going to work, even though they don't seem that motivated? I mean, if we're
Well,
being
someone
honest,
offered him 2.5, and it's not even worth 2.5 million.
yeah.
What feedback do you have for me, Dino? I'm not a huge rapport person, especially like when I know the person's not necessarily the main decision maker.
I guess I mean I think you did a good job. I think he made a point that I would make too. Like the overwhelming majority of us that are like listening to this podcast live, listening to it on the playback, the overwhelming majority of us are going to be significantly better on the phone than what most of these people are going to get from other people. Like we're going to sound significantly better because a lot of people are cold calling and spam calls and stuff. So just our voice alone is going to sound significantly better. So I think you had a good tone to you. I would just dig a little deeper. So when he starts talking about health, you don't necessarily want to be like, "Oh, what's your?"
I thought
You don't
about
necessarily
it.
want to say, "Oh, what's your health problems?" You want to kind of dance around. Hey, okay, man. I mean, you mentioned health a couple times here. I mean, and you said it's stressing you out. I mean, look, and I brought it up in the chat. Like, you got a couple options here. You know, if this is stressing you out, try the Airbnb route. I know a lot of people got stuck buying a house. They were able to pay a premium for it. The numbers worked because Airbnb worked, but now that it doesn't, the numbers don't work anymore. Okay. I've had this conversation too many times. So there's a good chance, you know, you're kind of over it. So in this situation, you got a couple options. The two that I would bring up, Mr. Seller, is you could sell it cash, and that's going to be convenience, right? You're going to get something, you're going to get it quick. For me, it has to be at a price that makes sense for me to buy it as an investment. You mentioned $4 million. You think it's worth 4 or 5?
I usually do tell them to, like, bro, that I'm not gonna be there. I can give you an
Yeah.
offer, but like I just know for a fact,
Yeah.
just to nip it in the bud early.
Yeah.
But
To
great
me,
tonality.
that would
by the way.
be.
You have
Yeah.
great tonality, bro. You are dialed
Thanks.
in.
Thanks. I love tonality. There's nothing like working tonality to like build that rapport even more and to make it real. You know, like,
Yep.
all right, so you've got a situation, you could sell it cash, right? So you've got, and when it comes to the price, I'm going to recap everything. So you said it's really nice. Okay. I would love to see pictures. Do you have pictures? I would get that out of the way first. Do you have pictures? You could send it to me right now. Can I look at it? If it is really nice, then I'm going to get into it and say, okay, well, yeah, you're right. This is really nice. I'm going to lean in heavy. Why haven't you listed it? Dude, the most you're going to get is to list it. I mean, if I were you, if I had all the time in the world and I wanted to get every dollar I could get, I'm going to list it because that's going to put it in front of the most buyers. But it sounds like you might just want to get rid of it fast. You know, you might want to just maybe leave an opportunity for us because waiting just isn't going to be in your best favor, right? You mentioned health a couple times and you're stressed out. I mean, you tell me. I mean, what do you want to do? You know? So I would just kind of be really trying to find that button that I can push on
Yep.
to where he really opens up and he takes it a direction. If he takes it to the listing route, I'm not even going to fight
Okay.
it based on the numbers he already said. If he's leaning into the cash price, then I really got to justify to him, dude. I mean, and I would be looking up comps too, and I'd be like, I'm not seeing anything that sold for more. So, I mean, how'd you come to that number?
Bro, Dean, that was gas. For those of you guys who are watching this, if you can watch the call, then watch what Dean just said, because that is so good that I could have implemented. We could have, and I mean, it would have made the call probably 10 to 15 minutes longer too.
Usually it takes
just
longer if you're really leaning in.
Yeah.
But again, you do that over the law of averages over, let's just call it 100 leads. I think you're going to increase your chances if you're really making it an intentional call. If you're just information gathering, okay, you're going to get some deals. But if you really lean in and like try to help them solve their problem, then if they're motivated, they're going to lean into it and try to solve it with you. And now you're working on the same team.
I didn't even see any motivation enough to dig. And I think that's where I get lazy too.
It's hard. It's hard. But that's where I challenge them even harder. Because I want to get to the point.
A dead lead anyways. Like, let's see if we can
If it's dead, let's go even harder. Let's push the boundaries of them disqualifying themselves and go for no even harder. If I know it's like they want 4 million, right? It's worth 4 or 5. And those are just words. Like, how'd you even come up with those numbers? You know, I'm going to challenge them a lot harder with the right tone. And to me, it gets to your answer faster, or at least gets them to say yes to you. Yes, I do need you. Well, why? You know? And then we go in there.
Right. So shout out Jeremy Davis for coming on. JD Moore has been in here watching the whole time. What's going on, JD? What do you say? Dean, nice. I like that. Fire.
Appreciate that.
Where can we find Dean's script with the Stratt version? Dean, where can they get the Deal Champ script?
I don't think we have a website. Oh, actually, we might. Let me type it in real quick. Let me test this out. This might be the one. Yes.
REI Profit. Yes, I will call a TikTok lead for you. Let's do it.
If you guys go to dealchamps.com/free, okay, you guys can get a lot, not just the Deal Champ script, but you guys can get a lot of our goodies of the different tools and resources we use by going to dealchamps.com/free.
Oh yeah. Well, I'd say we wrap it up here. This has been one of my favorite podcasts.
Dude,
I thought we touched everything. I had a little bit of humor. Got a solid lead call in. I didn't think we were going to get that in. JD,
and
Deal
I sold a
Champs.com.
deal. I sold a deal while on this, made 30,000, and I'm literally wiring funds right now on another deal that we're closing. So we're just making it happen, dude.
Oh man. Do you think Dean's empathetic tone versus Stratt's I don't give a fuck about your feelings tone works best? I personally think empathy in these situations will get you way more deals when it comes to rapport.
I'm telling you right now, if I was still on acquisitions on our calls, it would be dangerous. I think we could increase our output by 50%. I'm just saying. I got confidence.
You had some nasty tone there.
And that was just me dancing around, like just jumping here to there, like a full-blown call start to finish going through the script. Man.
But
it's an
I'm
opportunity
doing this in front of people. Like I got
dude,
warm.
There's no way that you're sweating without a live podcast. Live podcast with people watching, dude, the freaking adrenaline's rushing.
Oh my God.
You're nervous. You're getting hot.
I'm hot, bro. Fucking wipe it. I'm glistening out here. But guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. Everyone else, I'll be back on here in probably about 20 minutes. We'll give this guy an offer. I'll be live on my Facebook and IG, and we'll be live in all the Facebook groups. And we'll talk to you soon. Dino, you have any parting words?
Parting words. Next time you see me, I'm going to be in Europe. It might be a little dark because I don't know what the setup's going to be like. It's going to be nighttime, like 11 p.m. when we're doing this. But I'm going to be sharing some cool experiences. So,
bro, are you going to Paris?
We're going to London. We're going to a lot of Switzerland. We're going to Italy, and then we're going to Paris.
I want to see. Let's have We'll have the people vote. Dean, you got to pick the most iconic backgrounds for every single one.
Like I said, it's going to be 11 p.m. It's not going to be 2:30
Bro,
p.m. like it is right now.
If you are just like sitting and then the Eiffel Tower lit up is behind you,
Yeah.
come on, bro. Doing a podcast talking about real estate. You want to sell some fucking coaching programs or what?
Yeah. I do plan on getting a Airbnb with like Eiffel Tower views out the window. It's only costs $1,500 a night, but I think I'm going to do it.
Are you trying to grow your business or what? You're trying to grow the pod or what?
Yeah. Trying to get them views or what, bruh?
Oh yeah, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. I wish the master of hair was here. We hope his hair plug surgery went well. We'll shoot him a text after this, seeing how it went. Thank you guys so much for tuning in.
Peace.